guys, welcome to another streaming safari here at the Lion Habitat Ranch. As always, I'd like to thank you guys for any donations you've been able to make coming out to visit us. All those links for donations and Amazon Smile are right down below. There's also a special link down below for voting for us for Best of Las Vegas. We are in the category Entertainment Family something?
Attraction.
Family Entertainment Family Attraction. And you can vote for us every day up until September 23rd, so we would really appreciate it if you would do that. And if you haven't come out to see us, come out to see us. We're open Thursday through Monday from 10 to 2. And we know that Monday is a holiday this week, so if you guys want to find something to do on your day off, come see us. So today we're going to be doing an experiment that's a little bit similar to one we did pretty recently. A couple weeks ago we made some ice cream in a bag, and we talked about freezing point depression. We're going to be talking about that again, and I'm going to try to do a couple other experiments with freezing point depression with you. So you'll need a couple different things for this, but the most important are going to be ice and some rock salt. You can actually use regular salt, you'll just need to use a lot of it. The difference between the rock salt and the regular salt is that the rock salt is just in big chunks. So you get a lot of salt all in one, as opposed to like your regular table salt, which is all these nice little teeny tiny cubes. Do you know that your table salt is shaped like cubes? Did you know that, Denise?
I feel like I did in the back of my head.
That's why you can balance your salt shaker on a piece of salt, because it's a cube. It's a cube. Similar to what we're going to be talking about with our ice today, your salt actually makes crystalline structures that are extremely organized. So it is really warm out here, so I think that what we're going to do, what we're going to do today is I'm going to try to show you the results of your experiment that I've prepped for you first, and then I'll walk through how to do it. So hopefully, everybody cross their fingers. Guys, Lainey, cross your fingers.
Leslie called for something in the gift shop. I don't know what it was.
All right. So the first thing I have is just a regular bottle of water inside of some ice with some salt. Apparently, if I back up too far, it doesn't work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to instant freeze this water. We'll see if it works. All right. This out real quick. This is already really warm. It's hot out here, guys. Okay, so I'm going to take my water out. Hopefully it has super cooled itself. Are we ready? It didn't work.
You're supposed to test these things, Alex.
It doesn't work every time. Okay, we'll see. We'll pour some out and see if it instant freezes them. Sometimes that works too. Nope, we didn't get an instant freeze. I'm sorry, guys. So if you try it yourself, though, try it a couple times, because it is a really hard thing to get to work. I have a couple other ones to show you, so hopefully at least one of them will work. I think our Coke will work for sure. So we remember that the ice inside, or the salt inside of the ice is going to super cool the water. It's actually going to lower the freezing point of the water. So when you soak this in your, oh, there we go, it worked. So now it's slushy. So
you just have to lose all hope.
Yes, I had to lose all hope for it to happen, but you see the crystals forming on there now?
Yeah.
Yep. So now there's ice in here. And that slushy ice actually forms more and more as I agitate it. And it's from the super cooling. So when I pour this in my hand, it's extra cold. It doesn't feel like ice or ice like water even. It's like super cold. So give that a shot. Hopefully when you guys do it, you'll be able to see it a little better, but you can see kind of, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there's a whole crystal structure that's started forming inside of this bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't a complete failure. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So yeah, so all right, that's our super cooled water. And you can make ice water pretty fast with this. It actually isn't super fast because it takes about 30 minutes for this to all happen. And the more that I shake it, what's really weird is the more that I shake it, the more the ice is forming, because it's actually creating more, there's some impurities in the water and it's also giving more contact with the ice that's already formed, so that all of the little water molecules will glom onto the ice that's now forming on there. I'm just going to pour water all over everything today.
Well, in theory, it'll be cleaner.
Yes, it'll be clean. So all the ice that's forming now. Perfect. Okay. We're going to do some similar things. I'm going to try to instant freeze some strawberries for you. So again, you want to try this a couple different ways or a couple different times to see if you get that instant freezing. And what I'm going to do is I've chilled these some of our bird strawberries actually. And I'm going to dip this in this super cooled ice. Yeah, get it on camera just in case it works. In case it works. And we get no. Okay, let's try the other one.
Do you have the salt in the ice?
I do have the salt in the ice, but not in the water. So there's some water in these little cups, but the salt is in the ice to super chill it. We got nothing on these guys. This probably wasn't cold enough. So you want to make sure that the ice is sitting around. We'll let it sit there just like the other water and see if maybe it'll form some crystals around there in a second. All right, sorry if I'm failing at stuff today, guys.
You got one.
I got one.
And you've got a crowd.
Okay.
They're excited to see what happens.
Anybody who's here with this one, I want you guys to back up a little bit because the soda might explode. So I've done the exact same thing but with soda, and what I'm going to walk you through in a second is that the soda has a little bit more impurities in it, right? As opposed to like water. It's not pure, right? All the dyes are in there, all the sugars and all the different things for that water that's also in the soda to grab onto and start forming ice crystals. But what happens is similar to the salt that we put in the ice to reduce the freezing point of the water, the soda actually has all that stuff in it, which is going to make the freezing point of the soda get lower. So that's why when you put soda in the freezer, it actually takes a really, really long time to freeze. And so what we've done is we've super cooled it in the ice with the salt. But now what's going to happen too is we're going to see a cool thing that hopefully happens with pressure. This is science, guys, so it doesn't always work. Okay. So when you lower the pressure of something, like opening a soda can and releasing all of that pressure, what do you think happens to the temperature?
Either increases or decreases.
Either increases or decreases.
Because I was only half paying attention.
So it actually will decrease because it's kind of like letting pressure away. You're kind of like, can think about like, oh, the heat is going away, like the pressure. The tightness of it is releasing. So the liquid is actually going to get cooler. So I have a super cooled, and then when I open it, it should super cool it even more. And because of the carbon dioxide in there, we should get a mini explosion, and then we should get some really tasty, like slushy Coke. All right,
everyone. Anybody who doesn't possibly want to get sprayed with Coke.
Back up a little bit so you don't get sprayed with Coke, just in case.
Just aim it towards me. It's fine. Did it work?
We got a little explosion, but not a lot. And then we'll see if we have any that's slushy. I'm going to agitate it more. I can feel it actually slushing up. So see how it's way, way more bubbly than normally when you open a Coke? And then, oh, I feel it in there. It's slushy, I swear, guys. So if you let it sit longer, the slushier it's going to get. I can confirm it's slushy. So just leave it in there longer. And then how this ice is starting to melt, it's super, super chilled. Ooh, my goodness.
For everyone who's wanting to feed Ozzy, definitely make sure you wash your hands ready, have your ticket ready.
You know
he doesn't like the taste of hand sanitizer.
You didn't turn off Robert's mic.
So make sure you rinse them really well with the water from the hand washing station. If you guys are feeling really brave, you can feed a lion. We do have 30 lions on property, and multiple lions here participate in our feeding program. Just talk with Leslie inside the gift shop.
What I did not do was check if Robert turned his mic off. So anyway, I was saying, remember this is super chilled water, just like we did back in the ice cream experiment.
Thank you guys so much.
What we do is you're going to put your ice in your container, you're going to pour all of that salt over it, and then you're going to set whatever you want to super chill inside of that, okay? You're going to have to wait at least 30 minutes. I'd wait more like an hour to make it super, super slushy or super, super frozen for the water experiment. And then, give me just 1 second. And then As it starts to melt like this, you want to add more ice and pour out a little bit of the water so it gets even colder. Cool? So let me walk you through a little bit of the chemistry real quick.
And then what's your question, sweetie?
How much money is it to feed a lion?
It's $100 for a single, $150 for a shared.
Okay, so our strawberries increase. But I do suggest, again, trying this as many times as you can. We did have a little bit of success, but again, it's science, doesn't always work. It does work when you do it properly.
Well, it's a hypothesis and you're testing it. So if you fail, that's a success.
It is. It's always a success if you fail. No. Wait.
Yep.
Yes.
It's always a success because maybe just the test failed.
That's why we always want to repeat things a lot of times too. So you have statistics, right? And sometimes you screw stuff up or like just stuff gets messed up because there's something that wasn't right about it. And so that's why when we do experiments, we want to repeat them over and over and over again. Because like Denise said, sometimes they fail for different reasons. Either something was not quite right, we didn't let something sit for long enough, we did something wrong, or it could be that what we were thinking was going to happen is not actually what's going on. And that's how we make scientific discoveries, is we test things many, many times and we see if we can repeat them. And sometimes, like with the water, it does work. And then sometimes with the strawberries, it didn't quite work quite as well. But it is suggested, I suggest this, as you can see, it doesn't work every single time. There's a lot of other videos you can even watch that have these experiments, and they don't work every time either. So this is just something that happens when you're experimenting, and that's the fun part of it too. I think I have a good time when we don't succeed. Do you have a good time when we don't succeed?
I do. And we're not talking about math.
Speaking of math, let me talk to you a little bit about the chemistry behind this. So freezing point depression is adding a solute, like our salts, to a solution like water, and it's going to lower the freezing temperature. So water normally is going to freeze at 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Denise, do you remember the equation for how to change Celsius to Fahrenheit that we reviewed last week?
It involves a 5 and a 9.
So you take the 0, you multiply it by 9/5, what's 0 times 9/5?
0.
0. And you add
32.
32. So this is actually a really easy way to remember that equation, because you're always going to add the 32, which is the same thing as 0 degrees Celsius. And when you add the salt to it, the salt's going to break up into positive sodiums and negative chlorines, and they're going to interfere with that crystal structure that is what forms our, can I get one? Ice cubes. It forms a crystal structure. And what the water is going to want to do is make something like my pretty drawing here. Oh no, I just ripped my piece of paper. My pretty drawing here, it's going to want to structure itself in these nice little rings, and then it'll attach to other ones. And what these little water molecules are doing is they're sharing these hydrogens with each other. So this oxygen is a very, very negatively charged thing, and it wants to share positively charged things it wants to try to pull them away from other molecules. And so these guys are kind of sharing those positive molecules. Whereas when the other molecules start interfering, they get in the way of forming that structure. And then what we also see when we do the hitting the water on the table, or you can even just like kind of shake it or punch it, and we saw that crystal, the ice crystal, formed in the water, and then the slushy formed in the Coke. What's going on there, it starts with what's called nucleation. So that's the first change that you see, the first like self-organization that's going on of the structure. So when you have really, really pure water, there's not a lot that's making it really easy to form ice, because nothing's starting to form. Everything's just flowing around like a liquid. And so when you shake it, any of the impurities or anything that's in there help to start bringing those water molecules together, and then they start sharing those hydrogens. So a lot of different cool stuff that you can try out, and if you are more successful than me, bravo, and please let me know. I do love when other people do these experiments and you guys post about it, so if you do it, please let us know. And so there's a lot of different things that you can do. It's all based on putting a bunch of ice in a bucket, put a bunch of salt on top of it, and then stick some kind of liquid on it. Let it sit and chill for at least 30 minutes to an hour, and then see if you get some success with getting some of that nice freezing and kind of making yourself like an instant slushy. So hopefully, even though our experiment wasn't perfect this week, you guys still enjoyed it. I know I did. Hopefully Denise did. I introduced some math, and I made her do math, so yeah, it is what it is. But we do have a holiday weekend, so if you guys are off on Monday, come and visit us. That would be great, and we hope to see you next week at the very least. Thanks.